Hi, welcome. This is ANSHU-SHARMA here. Welcome to my channel. Sound waves in ether, creating bridges of communication, and how controllers insert holographic inserts in consciousness is our topic today. Every particle is a reality, a hologram. Every particle holding its vibration is changing its position in space-time. In a quantum field, I'll just show you. In a quantum field, a particle is switching its position and fluctuating between higher and lower vibrations. Back and forth, back and forth. The movement of the particle at the same time is also in a spiral. This spiral is clockwise and also anti-clockwise, like the waves in water. The waves go out and also come in. And at one time, both clockwise and anti-clockwise waves meet in the center, and that is the 0 point. We can put the particle movement on a space-time coordinate. For our understanding, particle fluctuating above the line is in higher frequency, and the same particle as it is moving, it comes below the line, and when it comes below the line, it is fluctuating in comparatively lower resonance. In a quantum field, as the particle is vibrating, it is changing its position. It is moving forward, it is moving backward, it is moving upward, and it is moving downward, leaving behind a chain of energetic waves through which the movement of the particles can be back traced. This movement or waves created in ether in quantum field are in all 360 degrees in all directions. Just like water waves are not just on the surface, but they are below the surface as well. Now, looking at the surface, we can see this movement in space-time coordinates, where the particle is moving or alternating between higher and lower coordinates. It is changing its resonance. Basically, the same particle is creating its own reflection in lower resonance. And the reflection is also at the same time creating the particle. Because the particle is imprinting so fast that we see both the particle and its reflection at the same place. Now, what it means to us when we interact with people, we are interacting with our reflection, our mirror image. One particle is holding all its position in space-time and can all be there in till infinity. It may look different because of its fluctuation, but it is the same particle. Its location is different. We may ask, if it is only one particle, then why it is appearing different? A particle appears different because of its frequency, its sound. Each location of its fractal can have a different sound. And due to its different resonance, it will be manifested differently in light, its mathematical and geometrical form, and finally, it may look very different in its physical manifestation. The pitch of the sound, its intent, and emotion can vary. Its position in space time. The reflection of the original sound with its intention and emotions can be manipulated and projected back in space time. Now we can see that when we are talking to someone, we having a particular intention, a particular resonance, a particular pitch, and a particular emotion. And with this, we are creating the sound waves for other person to hear. But how the other person perceives and reflects back to us can be totally different. He can perceive the emotion, the pitch differently, the resonance in entirely differently. Basically, you are saying something with a specific intention and emotion, with a specific pitch and resonance. But the person can either understand you fully, and if the person does so, then the person is and you are in total sync. Or the person can misunderstand you, or the person can intentionally and consciously totally manipulate your intention, pitch, resonance, and emotion and reflect it back to you. And this is what controllers do. Based on how your reflection reacts to you, you react back. And how your reaction puts you on an entirely different space time coordinate. Either based on the reaction of the person you are speaking to, you can lower your resonance, lower your vibrational frequency, or if the other person you're talking to is emitting higher resonance than you, then your own frequency can also go into higher coordinate. Or if you understand, then the other person you are talking to can totally manipulate and twist the information and your intent, your emotions, and can throw it back at you as sound waves. And then it is up to you how you respond, either consciously or unconsciously. But if you are unconscious, which majority humans are, you go along with your reflection and project back the manipulated intent and sound waves. Sometimes, or many a times, you do it unconsciously. And then you create something what your controllers wished and not what your intention was in the beginning. The bridge is the rotation movement in the quantum field, and that builds fluid motion from one hologram to another. This bridge is created by sound waves. Basically, it is a fractal movement that reprints and it gives the illusion of momentum frequency, which is your reaction. Let me explain. Through the fluid motion of the sound waves, bridges are constructed between two holograms of yours, one hologram, and the bridge of your reflection, or the person you're speaking to. This fluid motion of sound waves is carrying information from you to your reflection or someone you're talking to. And his reactionary sound waves are being carried over to you. And this process goes back and forth between you and your reflection. Now, your reflection can be any person you are addressing. It can be a physical person sitting next to you or anyone who is listening to you via mediums such as this one, where I'm addressing you. Your own resonance, your own emotion and understanding determines your intake of what is being said. The waves which anybody is emitting, the sound waves, they remain in ether forever. And depending on the person's resonance when it's ready to receive the particular knowledge, with synchronicity, that person intellect attaches itself to those sound waves, and these sound waves are then understood, and depending on his action they are then crystallized and embodied. The sound waves are fluid, connecting one portal to another, that is you and your reflection. They connect with very similar but not the same vibration, same intent and emotion. It can be different. If they are separate, then what you said, if these two vibrations are different, two frequencies are different, in the manner you have relayed and in the manner the other person has heard them, then you are not in sync. Your information is not conveyed in the manner or in the intent you emitted. If this bridge of communication wasn't there, then your sound will disappear. But that's not the case. What you stays in the etheric field. And if not your reflection, then someone else with the same resonance, with the same intent, will hear you and will also understand you in the right context. Now, when it is peaceful, when these two people are communicating with each other, there is a fluidity of the sound waves. But sometimes this fluidity is broken. It happens when we see or hear something unexpectedly. Say a loud noise or an explosion or a different reaction altogether than the one we expected, or something very different resonance than we are used to. When somebody reacts in that manner, the original fluidity is broken. And then we hear or see a completely different resonance in our hologram. In that case, if it happens and if you are conscious, then instead of saying, "Yes, I understand," you just take time because you are now shocked. And then you take time to restructure your hologram and you decide, taking time, how to respond, how to react. Bear in mind, this is how controllers manipulate your understanding and maintain their control by putting different resonances in your hologram. They twist the words. and also the twist the intent and manipulate in such a manner that original sound waves, the original intent is totally distorted. And if you are not conscious in taking time to restructure a hologram, then you are creating the reality for them. If you agree with how they've twisted the information, how they have inserted the holographic inserts in the sound waves, and you accept it, then what happens? You not only accept it, but you also start projecting it back. This is the time your hologram needs adjustments and restructuring with discernment. You decide consciously what you allow or what you do not allow in your hologram. Because you also know at this time how you project the same information you have received and how you have perceived now based on what the controllers have projected, how you project this information out, then this projection, your projection, will influence many more of your reflections. So, this explains how sound waves travel from one portal to another in the quantum field. But if you wish sound waves to manifest or become matter, then these sound waves need to crystallize. And for crystallization, you need action. Your action crystallizes the sound into matter. You can say your action is now the bridge between the sound waves in the ether and the matter, which is your manifestation. Sound waves are creating geometry, a subtle matter in the etheric field. And your physical action are creating physical manifestation from the subtle matter geometry from the etheric field to the physical field. So that's all for today. Please subscribe and like this video. Thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.